Welcome back to Limkey Plus, everyone. On this channel, I'm 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until the sequel comes out, which is today in 116 days. Excuse my voice, I'm a little bit sick, but I want to talk about something today that I've recently been thinking about more because as I was sick, I've been watching a ton of Elden Ring content again, which is a game that I really liked. Maybe in the past you've heard me talk about that game in particular. I made some videos about the game on my main channel. One of my most popular videos these days is actually an Elden Ring summon only run. And I even speedrun the game. And recently I just got back into the game a little bit more again. And I've been watching a ton of content because, like I said, I'm sick and I'm just chilling in bed, basically not having much else to do. And it made me think of Master Mode. If you guys know, Elden Ring, or the Souls series in particular, is known for its difficulty. In Elden Ring, I think it's not as much of an issue. The game is actually quite a bit easier, in my opinion, than the other Souls games because of its open world nature. If anyone ever wanted to get into the Souls series, this would be the game to start with, in my opinion. You get to do a lot of exploring and get to basically make a really strong build to make the game as easy as you want it to be. Elden Ring is a perfect game that basically is as easy as you want it to be. You can have it be really, really difficult if you don't level up much. You use only melee weapons. Maybe you can even play the game on level 1 or try to do it hitless. Absolutely crazy things that people are doing in the game. But you can also have it much easier by using Spirit Ashes and using powerful weapons and leveling up a lot and leveling your weapons up before you attempt any of the bosses. And it made me think of Master Mode. And, well, one thing that made me really sad when I watch these Elden Ring videos is how much build variety there is. There's so many different item, like builds, how you build your character from being like a sorcerer to like a melee, greatsword user to a spear user to whatever you really want. There's so many different builds, and I really think, I talked about this in the past, it would be so cool to have that sort of build variety in Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, where, for example, in Hollow Knight, there's these charms that make specific things of your build strong. And yes, we have armor sets, but it would be cool if like one armor set would increase your spear attacks and another one would increase your greatsword attacks, and you could kind of build your character, your Link, differently depending on how you want to approach your playthrough. Now, let me think real quick. I think... but I never even started Tarrey Town, now that I think about it. Something I should be doing in the future, but for now... excuse me. I'm gonna be going back to Goron City. To get more Korok seeds. Now, the entire point of the video was Master Mode. Because when you think of Elden Ring or Souls games, you usually think of difficulty, and Master Mode was Breath of the Wild's attempt to make the game more difficult. And I want to kind of give you my suggestions after thinking about it a little bit to fix it. In previous videos, you've probably heard me kind of complain about Master Mode, how I think it's not very well balanced, it's not really play tested. It seems like a lot of the content in Master Mode just doesn't seem to work. Good example are some of the challenges in the Trial of the Sword, the Calamity Ganon boss fight in Phase 2, when Ganon has the shield and goes to the wall and just relentlessly replenishes its HP, seems unbalanced. The Water Blight Ganon refight in the DLC seems completely unbalanced. There's multiple things where it seemed like the developers were just like, okay, for us, Master Mode means your enemies regen health and they do more damage, and that's it. Now we just ship it, and we won't playtest everything. This is just, you know, what it is. And it just shows. In some sections of the game, it seems like they just changed the game with these restrictions or with these like modifiers and never went back to test them. A lot of you guys in the comments have agreed with me on this topic before. I think it's basically guaranteed that that's what happened. Now, also I need to pay attention here for a little bit because this next Korok seed, not Korok seed, but Shrine. Oh wait, I had to talk to the Goron. Okay, actually let me focus on doing that today. That's at least some progress. I keep realizing that I have to do a bunch of Shrine quests. Excuse me for the coughing again, I am sick, but at least we got the daily upload. I need to do a bunch of Shrine quests in this playthrough just to get the Shrine. Not because I necessarily need to beat the Shrine, But I need to get the shrine out of the ground to get the location to eventually get to 100% on the map here. And this next Goron one is one of it, Kaer Rama, where you have to bring the rock roast up the hill. But yeah, so let me get to the final point, finally to the point of the video, of how I think Master Mode could be changed to be more interesting, more engaging, more fun, and a lot of it I stole from Elden Ring. And I think first of all, enemies should not regenerate health from not being hit. This makes it so that a lot of annoying scenarios show up, just like the one I previously mentioned, right? With Calamity Ganon, phase 2, where he goes to the wall with the shield and he just regens health. It seems like there's nothing you can do about it. It sucks. Same for Water Blight. Water Blight being stuck on the ceiling basically makes it so that over time health regeneration sucks and makes the fight not very fun for players. The way I would fix it is, and this is something that Elden Ring does in its notoriously hardest boss, Malenia, where the enemies only regenerate health when they hit you. This makes it so that, yes, being hit is even more punishing than it usually is, right? Because not only do you get hit, you additionally also make it so that your enemy now gets health, but at least it's your fault. It's your fault that you got hit, so the enemy gets healed. I think that's much better for some sort of master mode. Instead of the enemies just hiding and it's regenerating because of how the mode works. That doesn't really feel more difficult, that just feels more annoying. So, enemies healing when they hit you, I think is a better solution for that. Another change I would do is, and this is something that made Breath of the Wild, at least for me, a lot easier. A lot of people always said, like, Mipha's Grace is really broken casually, it saves you. I never thought so, because you can simply, and this is something I would turn off in the Master Mode and the harder difficulty for Breath of the Wild, you can pause. You can pause the second before you get hit, eat food, and you'll be fine. And this is something I would disable in Master Mode, and this is something that the Souls games do. When you are in combat, you can heal in combat. In those games, but you can pause the game. So you have to find windows to actually disengage the fight and get a safe healing window. Where in Breath of the Wild, even if you're fighting a Lionel, if the Lionel runs up to you and you're not confident you're going to be dodging the attack, you can just eat a meal and be good to go. Last but not least, and this is something that I thought was a little bit lazy, is that all they did with enemy variety is that they made them do more damage and have more health with the golden enemies. I think all of the golden enemies should have gotten a unique move. I think that would have made them a lot more fun. Those are my main things on how to fix Master Mode, and I just wanted to kind of talk about them today and ask you what you think. Maybe you have other suggestions. And before I end today's video, I'm gonna do a little bit of a glitch explanation. Some people asked for this before. This is the Golden Gauntlets glitch, and it can be used to grab boulders and stuff on the ground to basically complete Korok puzzles faster. But it's even faster, even better in this section of the game, right? Because I'm about to make it so that I can carry this rock roast even more efficient. So normally when I pick up the rock roast, you see how slow I am? I'm pretty slow. You can definitely tell that Link is under the load of the rock roast. Now, the Golden Gauntlets glitch is performed by looking into the southern direction. This is really important. I'm looking south right now. Holding out your shield and having your bomb rune equipped. Now, when I'm about to pick up this rock roast, I'm also going to press the bomb button and the scope button, which is the, you know, the Sheikah Slate zoom. What this does is it tricks the game into thinking that I have actually just picked up a bomb. It doesn't know, it no longer thinks that I'm carrying a rock roast, and it gives me much more movement speed. It would also allow me to throw this rock roast even further, but in this section here in particular, where there's lots of moblins that are potentially going to shoot you with fire arrows, boulders that you might want to maneuver around, this is really helpful. Again, it's just most important. You can technically also hold a weapon out. I like holding a shield out. I think you can technically hold a bow out as well. You need to hold out any particular item. Bow, weapon, shield. I prefer, personally, shield. Look into the southern direction as you are in front of the rock, and then press the... pick it up. Pick up the object. Oh god, that bird. Rip. Pick up the object, for example, the rock roast, or a rock, and then press the bomb button and the scope button, which is R3, pressing down the right stick at the same time. That's the Golden Gauntlets glitch. It can be used here. and for other sections of the game, and people in the comments asked me recently to explain this again. But that being said, I just wanted to give a brief explanation. Did I even ever say how many days Tears of the Kingdom are today? This is where you can tell that I'm sick. If I haven't, let me do it at the end here. It's 116 days until Tears of the Kingdom. 1 day closer yet again. I feel like I'd probably have said it at the beginning. I would be confused if I didn't. But if I didn't, 116 days until I'd be able to play the game. We're going to be getting the Rock Roast here. I kind of wanted to rant about Master Mode a little bit, watching more Elden Ring content. Recently made me think that there's still, even though this is a great game, so many cool improvements that we could get potentially on our sequel. This is a good example. I basically had to do the shrine quest simply just to be able to walk up to the shrine here. By the way, if I was to clip through that wall, the shrine would actually not be there. That's something that people typically don't know. But yeah, I just got the percentage point for it. If I was to clip through that wall, the shrine would simply not exist here. It would not be here. So we wouldn't get the location. So I actually had to do the quest. Tomorrow I'll continue here, getting more Korok seeds, moving down into the Elden region. Thank you for watching today. I appreciate you hanging out, and I'll see you tomorrow for another daily video.